right. My name is Sean McDonald. I'm with BITWATER Farms, a company about 2 years old. Our story starts where my career started, in Silicon Valley in what I'd call regular tech startups, where we've been led to believe that this changes everything, a new screen or whatever. What I've come to learn is that this changes everything. We are about to live in a new world changed by catastrophic climate change, and we have to build resilient systems. The global agriculture industry will be disrupted, whether a startup does it or not. Be disrupted by drought, by storms, and by acidification of the ocean. At the same time, global demand for meat, especially poultry and eggs, will skyrocket, probably doubling, creating an opportunity for $200 billion in growth in poultry feed. Birds eat bugs. It's a great diet for them. If you put a chicken in a field full of soybeans, it'll run around eating worms and bugs. It will. Crickets are climate resilient for a lot of reasons, not the least of which is they like it hot. It is good for the earth to get hotter if you are growing lots of insects. So what we do at BITWATER Farms is build farm equipment to rear insects. Our investors are bought into this notion, our team's bought into this notion, and our partners are bought in. This is our first unit. It's called the M1, and it's very simple, it's very small, and it's very easy to run with our machine learning-driven software. Our M3 unit, that our lawyer says we can't show pictures of yet, is about the size of a school bus. We operate 14 of these at our facility in North Carolina, and they're M1s in 5 states. We know this business will scale just like solar, both in the business model and the distribution model. It'll be localized production, which is great for reducing carbon gases. Hardest part of building an insect company, of course, is branding. People are freaked out by bugs and stuff, but really what is, like, you gotta get that thing real hot and then not break the exoskeleton. You try to get little BITWATER Farms on each of those crickets. Our entomologists, using our technology, hatch millions of crickets per day in our facility. We feed them the byproducts of beer. Well, we feed the entomologists beer, we feed the crickets the byproducts of beer, and they all stay busy. We have a killer team that I'm really proud to be part of. We have worked across our board and our executive team and our entomologists. We have leaders from around the world. And being here today, I want to do something special. I was honored to be at the South by South lawn event last week, where President Obama made it crystal clear that climate change is happening faster than we could ever expect, and that we're in a race against time to build the new infrastructure. So, sweating throughout the weekend and barely sleeping, I've worked with our team, and as of about 2 hours ago, we open sourced our software and our hardware and a curriculum for anyone to get started. And I hope you'll help us share this message that on November 1st, we're gonna give away a free M1 unit to someone who is an aspiring insect farmer. And I think we're gonna keep running promotions like this because we have to do this fast. Thank you.
So the tractor, how integral is the tractor to getting the crickets out and about?
It's a metaphor.
It's a metaphor, thank you. Okay. So, the reason I ask is because the places that are going to be most affected by climate change and already are places where tractors are still a few years down the road. So what's your vision for getting your M1 and your M3 units out to places where there is a growing demand for poultry, for meat, that are most affected by climate change?
That's a great question. We have designed each one of our products to be built out of highly accessible, localized materials, primarily steel, which is largely available around the world or can be shipped. The only really specific thing that you would need to get from a specific vendor is our microcontroller system and our control box, and that is very limited and very small. It's about this big. The rest of it, in most places, you can get the equipment that we need. We don't have a manufacturing site where we build them and ship them. That would defeat our model. We can locally source about 90% of our materials.
Monica, let's go to you.
So, I just one clarification question and another question. Are you selling the machines or the insects?
Yeah, that's a good question too. Our growth model is to sell the machines. Okay. We, at our R&D facility, produce a lot of insects, and we don't want them to go to waste. So we sell a little bit of insects, but we sell the machines.
And then I noticed your team was mostly university partners, so who owns the IP on that?
No, there are no university partners. Our entomologists have gotten their masters and PhDs from those schools. We own all the IP.
Warren, did you have a question?
Yeah, it builds off the last question. I really wanted to see if you could share with us your IP strategy.
Yeah, so our IP strategy for the software side is to make it largely open source, but not necessarily the data itself. There's a little bit of nuance there. My background's in data science, so certain components of the software are not open source, but the platform that everybody needs to cricket farm is. We expect to get patents on several types of machines that are the tools that make the tools. So we have to create a lot of the component parts that go inside of it, and those themselves are probably fairly replicable, but they can be difficult and expensive to produce. So we, it's kind of like Tesla, right? Like own the patent on the tools that make the tools, not the tools themselves.
30 seconds on the clock. Mike, did you have a question?
Yeah, so great presentation. In terms of revenue model and your customers today, and how that maybe changes in the open source world, could you just talk a little more about that?
Sure. So our revenue model, I think, will be very much like solar, where there probably is some technology play and licensing built into it. But as the insect industry grows, I think financing those operations will be critical to it, because we're looking not just at more sustainable production, but more sustainable economics.
Excellent. We're out of time. Funny